tire this winter. You probably know someone who has. Even the RTA is seeing an additional 4 to 6 flat tires a day because of potholes. But is that new tire really as new as you think? Good evening, I'm Lee Jordan.
And I'm Chris Flanagan. An exclusive 5 on Your Side investigation tonight reveals a tire safety threat many are completely unaware of. And a little-known code right in your tire could save your life. 5 on Your Side Chief Investigator Regan has specific safety steps you can take right now.
Well, when you buy a tire, it might appear brand new, but unless you know where to look, you may never know how old it really is. And some believe that tire you thought was new could lead to a catastrophic failure.
Of course, you're going to say new tires, you think they're great condition, the best.
The Mraz family says their son bought a tire that appered to be brand new.
The tread went up and he lost control of the car.
The tire was actually 12 years old.
There's no words to describe your last or your only son.
Hank Price also believed his tires were new.
Went over a little bump. Before I knew it, the tire thread had separated.
And a 12-year-old was killed after the tire blew apart on the family's SUV. The tire that looked new was 15 years old. Price discovered his were 8 years old.
I thought it was new.
Our 5 on Your Side investigation found 252 incidents, 233 fatalities, and 300 injuries over the last 20 years across the country, all involving tires more than 6 years old.
Across the country, old tires are routinely sold, installed, and put into service on cars, unbeknownst to consumers.
Sean Kane is an auto safety advocate.
As they age, they degrade internally. You can't see that degradation, so even if they're not in service, not in use, they break down, and they can cause a catastrophic failure.
Here's how you can tell just how old your tires really are.
So what we have here is what is a new old tire. I mean, look at this tire. It's never touched the ground. There's no reason that this tire would not be put into service.
But a simple code right on your tire reveals exactly when that tire was made.
And if you go to the very end of that DOT number, you'll see the last 4 digits are 1303. That means this tire was made in the 13th week of 2003.
And at used tire stores, the tire looks like it's almost new.
Yes, exactly. It's like almost new.
It's easy to find tires that look great.
It's a good year, and it's, I mean, the tread is good, sidewall is good, everything is good on it.
But could put you at risk.
That would be April of, I guess, 2001.
I'm not sure about that because, to be honest with you, I'm not sure about this 2001.
A tire can look virtually brand new, but be a significant hazard because the internal materials have degraded and they're not visible.
In April 2007.
April 2007. This is 7 years old. This is a 7-year-old tire, but still in pretty good shape.
Still is in excellent shape.
And our investigation found it's perfectly legal. There are no laws requiring disclosure of a tire's age. Still, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration published these findings. Rubber breaks down over time, and even with lots of tread, its integrity may be compromised. And safety advocates recommend if you see your tires are more than 6 years old, they should be replaced. Still, the rubber industry disagrees.
There's no scientific or technical data that we're aware of that would establish or identify a minimum or a maximum tire service life.
And we've got a lot more on your side resources to keep you and your family safe. Just log on to newsnet5.com, go to the investigative section, and it's our top story. There you'll also find several links as to what government regulators and auto safety experts say about tire aging.
Well, Ron, the feds and also safety officials are weighing in. What about the automakers? What are they saying about this?
All 3 of the major automakers in this country, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, all say tires older than 6 years old should be changed out regardless of how much tread is on that tire, regardless of how good it looks.
Such great information, and that number is the week it was made and the last 2 digits of the year it was made.
That's correct. Yep.
Got to look for it.
Great information.
You bet.
Thanks, Ron.
We are already seeing results from the 5 on Your Side investigation on the potential dangers of aging tires that we brought you yesterday at 6. State Senator Tom Patton has introduced legislation that would require that consumers be told up front when a tire was actually manufactured. And Ohio's Attorney General now warning that even if a tire has never been used, it could be prone to failure if older than 6 years. They're collecting fat unemployment checks, but thousands are far from jobless. Tonight, an exclusive 5 on Your Side investigation uncovers how millions in unemployment checks are getting into the hands of those cheating the system.
5 on Your Side Chief Investigator Ron Regan joins us. And Ron, this type of fraud is hurting honest, hardworking taxpayers.
Well, it is. We found that you're paying millions of dollars every year to those gaming the system. Some are even getting paid to sit in prison. But most are cashing unemployment checks while secretly holding down jobs. Mr. Alexander, I'm with News Channel 5. I'd like to ask you a few questions about unemployment compensation fraud, if I could. Do you have a moment?
I'll talk about that, man.
But moments earlier, Eric Alexander was here in federal court apologizing for stealing $11,000 in unemployment checks he pocketed while he actually was working. You pleaded guilty.
I plead guilty to that. Man, come on, let me cross the street.
Well, in your sentencing, you were sentenced for stealing $11,000 in unemployment compensation. Is that true?
I don't know.
You don't know? I was in the courtroom.
Great.
You don't know anything about that? But court records show Alexander pleaded guilty, received 3 years probation, and ordered to pay back $11,000 he fraudulently obtained. And we found he's just one of thousands who cheat the system every year at the expense of honest, hard-working taxpayers.
Are you kidding me? I mean, it's just not fair.
That's just ridiculous. If these people out there, they should be working and they're fleecing the system.
Not fair, but happening over and over again. Our exclusive 5 on Your Side investigation found over the last 7 years, Alexander was among 434,000 who pocketed fraudulent payments. Ohio recovered more than $76 million in cash illegally obtained. But that's not all. We found some of those checks went to prison inmates. We found more than 200 convicted criminals claimed more than $238,000 in unemployment checks last year, all while sitting behind bars. Ohio's chief fraud investigator.
You're in jail. You said that you were available for work. We would consider that fraud.
Inmates' records are routinely checked against claims, but until this year, millions went uncollected among Ohio's general population. Now, there's a new weapon.
We turn the debt over to the IRS for intercept with federal income tax returns.
It's called the Treasury Offset Program, and just this year, it recovered $34 million from more than 21,000 who scammed the system.
We've been after this through other collection activities in the past. This has been the most successful to us.
And it's hurting a compensation fund that's already running out of cash. Ohio spent $1.8 billion last year to help honest taxpayers who were out of work, but it's spending far more than it's taking in, forcing companies to pay even higher taxes.
Certainly hurts, and any efforts to reduce that fraud would be very helpful for businesses in this world they live in with the regulations and the taxes they have.
Meanwhile, Eric Alexander, like most, will be expected to pay back the $11,000 he stole. Mr. Alexander, will you be able to pay that back? Have a great day. Okay. Well, despite widespread fraud, only a fraction get prosecuted. Last year, Ohio prosecuted a record 127 individuals for unemployment fraud, 271 over the last 5 years. It's a pretty big problem, and the state is trying to crack down on it right now.
Very eye-opening with the prisoners receiving money behind jail. Behind bars. It's just incredible. Thank you very much, Ron.
Kid got hit by a car? Yeah.
Is this something you're never ever prepared for in any way, shape, or form?
It is the call you never want to get. Your child hit by a car on the way to school.
Chief Investigator Ron Regan is here tonight with his exclusive 5 on Your Side investigation on school crash zones.
Well, we uncovered the most dangerous streets near hundreds of schools. And to protect your children, we tracked and mapped every crash near every school.
Please, hurry up.
Just walking to school
It hit me.
shouldn't be a survival skill.
Happy was this my leg.
Serious accidents near schools happen more than you think.
I was like, am I dead?
To find out just how many, our investigation analyzed police crash reports, national highway safety studies, plus crash data obtained from the Ohio Department of Transportation. We tracked every crash near every school in 8 counties surrounding Cleveland. We found 370 crashes last year involving pedestrians or bicyclists within just a quarter mile of schools. 279 injuries, 4 deaths.
Kid got hit by a car? Yeah.
And just last month,
I went to walk and I turned on the car was right there.
Riley Edmonds was run over on the very first day of school.
If people see it and they say, wow, you know, okay, this is really serious. I'm lucky that my son's sitting next to me right now.
In Ohio, children often walk up to a mile. So how can parents know where danger zones are waiting?
This is something you're never, ever prepared for in any way, shape, or form. And the devastation and the trauma.
We created this interactive map. More pins, more crashes. And the longer the walk, the greater the risk. More than 1,000 involving pedestrians or bicycles last year, within just a mile of schools. 921 injured, 16 died, including this 5-year-old on his way to school.
We need to do something about that.
Nationwide, 53 children are injured every day just walking. Last year, 490 under age 19 were killed. And the trend for teens is increasing. Kate Carr is president of Safe Kids Worldwide, a Washington, D.C. group that tracks crashes involving children.
And those numbers are going up because more and more kids have cell phones or they have some type of device where they can be distracted by the music or the conversation or the texting that they're doing.
And what we found in our investigation can be used to make crash zones safer.
Well, I want to congratulate you for the work that the station is doing to create this information map that will help parents and kids know where the danger zones are.
Here in Ohio, our mapping will be used in the Safe Routes for Schools program. It pays for things like pedestrian traffic signals, ramps, and bridges. Each year, the Ohio Department of Transportation gives away $4 million for schools where children are at risk.
These pinpoints that you've put on this map, they're good for us to look at. From the engineering perspective, we can look at where these pinpoints are and we can say, hey, let's look at that area.
And it could help save a child's life.
Don't watch out because kids are back in school and they'll be walking.
And to help protect your child, you can find our interactive map that shows where the most crashes have occurred near schools. All you have to do is log on to newsnet5.com. Just click here on our link that shows interactive map that shows these are crashes within a quarter mile of schools. And in just a second, all of these pins are going to pop up here. Every one of these pins indicates another crash, another layer of trouble for your child. The more pins, the more crashes. You can also search a searchable database with a drop-down menu that'll show you everything that's happening in your town.
Information parents need to know.
Yep, check it out. Numbers are staggering.
Mm-hmm.
Save a life. Yeah. Ron, thank you.
Thank you, Ron.